Pentatonic scale, 3 levels of super alterations. Another real great thing about the pentatonics are that they are very easy to use because they are so simple. They're only 5 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Another real great thing about the pentatonics are that they are very easy to use because they are so simple. They're only 5 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this video I'll take you through how to play 3 levels of alterations on dominant chords only using simple minor pentatonic scales. In this tutorial, the tricks of using the pentatonic scale as an alto dominant chord alterations, fitting the alterations into pentatonic scales, E flat minor pentatonic scale used as an alto dominant, B flat minor pentatonic scale used as an alto dominant, and C minor pentatonic scale used as an alto dominant, and of course more pentatonic patterns. Hi there, I'm Søren and welcome to Søren Saxophone Lessons. You dig these videos, give me some love, hit the like and subscribe button and support me in making these videos. Thank you so very much. Coming up, playing alto dominant chords using pentatonic scales. The trick of using pentatonic scale as an alto dominant. The minor pentatonic scales consist of 5 notes and therefore has a very distinguished sound. Mostly when I hear a minor pentatonic scale, I hear a pop or a blues sound like this. Those are some common pop or blues sounds, what you often hear. What I try to achieve in jazz is to get away from this pop sound and get a more functional sound, so function as in chord functions, using the leading tones in the scale moving towards the target notes. Also using a lot of motive playing. Since we only work with 5 notes in the scale, the pentatonic scale is a rather easy to play in small sequences, which are easy to repeat over more chords. More of this in the later part of the video. Dominant chord alterations. A dominant chord is a chord with a strong leading effect towards a series of target notes. A very common progression is an A7 to a D major chord, the 5 to 1, the dominant to a tonic chord. You can even add an E minor chord to this progression. You get the common 2-5-1 progression. What we are going to do is focus on the dominant, on the A7, the 5 chord, or more the dominant function. So the dominant resolving to the D major here in this example, A7 to D major. How the A7 resolves to D major, but more like how a altered dominant resolves to D major, so a pentatonic scale resolves to D major. The altered dominant is derived from the diatonic dominant. When we start altering the notes, we start in a certain order. The 9 becomes the flat 9. The B goes to the B flat. And the scale we get looks like this. The next note we alter is the 13. The F sharp becomes the F. I played this as a broken chord because it was easier to show. So we have low A. We get this chord. The scale. When we add more alterations, we start looking at a very complex sound. We can still explain the alterations when viewing this from an A7. The 9 we expand to the flat 9, and the 5 we lower to the flat 5. So the 9, we get a C over the C sharp. Very exciting sound. And the 5 we expand to the flat 5. we get this very nice flat 5 sound. Looking at the scale with all the altered notes. We get this melodic minor scale played from the A. The B flat melodic minor chord played from the A. Fitting the alterations into pentatonic scales. When fitting the alterations to pentatonic scales, I'm looking for what pentatonic scales holds what alterations. In this video, I'm only working with the basic minor pentatonic scale like this one. The process is basically a search for which pentatonic scales hold the notes more or less that you want in your sound, in your alterations. There'll be a lot of trial and error in this, since almost all pentatonic scales have some kind of dominant extension towards our example chord D. When you know your pentatonic scales, you can basically start the search. I picked 3 pentatonic scales which I found interesting and will present them here. The E flat minor pentatonic scale used as an altered dominant. I'll start with the pentatonic scale which holds 3 alterations. E flat minor pentatonic. I play this over the A7 chord. E flat minor pentatonic. I'll check out the notes in a different setting. So from the D flat, which is the 3rd of the A7, the C sharp. So we have the C sharp, the 3rd, that's not an altered note. Then we have the flat 5, the E flat. Definitely an alteration. Then we have the G flat, which basically is an F sharp, which is the 13 on the A7, so no alteration. Then we have the A flat, that's the G sharp, which is also an alteration, a very heavy alteration. It's the major 7th on the A7 chord. And then we have the B flat, that's the flat 9. The A7 dominant alterations in the E flat minor pentatonic scale would be this. The flat 5, the E flat, the major 7, the A flat, and the flat 9, the B flat. You have 2 inside notes. Those are the C sharp, the D flat, F sharp, the G flat, the 3rd and the 13. Looking at the alterations, we have the 3. The flat 5, the flat 9 are obvious, whereas the major 7 on the dominant is pretty obscure because the tone is not at all what we want in a dominant chord. But it is an alteration, and we can say we skip the A7, we just play altered dominant. We just want the leading effect towards our D major chord. So there the A flat is very, very, very well used. The major 7, the A flat, to the 5th of D major, the A. What you get with the major 7 is leading tones towards the A, which is the 5th of the D major. It's a very nice leading tone. An obvious lick to play is also using the B flat and the A flat to circle the A of the D major chord. That part. Basically playing down and up the E flat minor pentatonic scale, encircling the A at the end of the first bar, running down the D major scale and chord. The second example of using E flat minor pentatonic scale as a substitute of the A7 dominant chord is this. Up the E minor 7 chord scale, playing towards the B flat of the E flat minor pentatonic scale. In the second bar, the dominant bar, I run up the E flat minor pentatonic scale to the E flat and jump down to the B flat. Then down the scale to D flat, also the C sharp, the leading tone to D. On D major I play from the A, the 5th up, and down the scale to end on the F sharp, the 3rd in bar 4. The last example where I'm using E flat minor pentatonic is again at 2-5-1 in D major. Starting with the run from the B down, on the E minor 7. Chromatic encircling the D flat, the C sharp on the E flat minor pentatonic scale. On E flat minor pentatonic, I run up and down the pentatonic scale from the D flat, ending on the E flat, leading towards the D on the D7 major chord. On D major 7 in the third bar, I run up the D major scale and arpeggio, ending in bar 4 on the 9th with a little bow to the root and back. B flat minor pentatonic scale as an alto dominant. Using the B flat minor pentatonic as an alto dominant, we have alterations on 4 of the pentatonic scale notes in comparison with the A7 chord. Our B flat minor pentatonic scale are the notes B flat, D flat, E flat, F and A flat. The D flat gives the third, the C sharp. The E flat is the flat 5, the F is the flat 13, the A flat is the major 7, the B flat is the flat 9. Making a couple of jazz lines using the 4 alterations of the B flat minor pentatonic looks like this. The first example is an alto dominant using B flat minor pentatonic in 1 bar leading towards the D major 7 chord. Playing up the B flat minor pentatonic scale from the D flat, the third of the A7, the C sharp, to the high B flat, the flat 9. Jumping down to the F, going down the scale and encircling with the E flat and the D flat. I encircle the D on the D major 7 and start with the 1, 2, 3, 5 and then jumping down to the E, going down the scale ending on the A. Playing a 2-5-1 in D major, E minor A7, also the B flat minor pentatonic scale to D major 7. Using a chromatic approach note to the 5th of the E minor, the A sharp to B, then going down the arpeggio, again using a chromatic approach note to the E, the D flat, running up the scale. Playing towards the B flat in the second bar, the B flat minor pentatonic scale going up, skipping down to the A flat and running down the scale. The B flat and the A flat at the bottom encircles the A of the D major 7 chord. Playing up a 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern from A on the D major 7 chord, repeating the jump and skip movement from the previous bar to get a motive-like play, ending on the C sharp. Running up the E minor scale, plain and simple. On the dominant chord, I get right into the altered sound by playing the F of the B flat minor pentatonic scale, running down the scale to the E flat, skipping up to the A flat. On D major, I start to run down to the scale and arpeggio on the E, the 9th. On the A, the 5th of the D major, I repeat the last motive of the B flat minor pentatonic bar. Skip down, skip up, step down. The A, the F sharp, the E, the A, the F sharp. Last part of bar 2 and bar 3. C minor pentatonic scale as an alto dominant. The C minor pentatonic scale consists of the notes C, E flat, F, G and B flat. We have the B flat, which is the flat 9. We have the flat 10, that's C. We have the E flat, that's the flat 5. The flat 13 is the F. And the G is the 7th. So we have 4 alterations towards the D major chord. Let's take a look at some lines which leads to D major using the C minor pentatonic scale. Up the C minor pentatonic scale from the F to the high F, skipping down to the C and B flat, repeating the motive for the last 4 notes of the earlier bar to to the E, the F sharp, the C sharp, and the B, then running 5, 3, 2, 1 down, ending on the C sharp. Those are the motifs I'm talking about. Repeating that motif. Up the E minor scale from the root to the fifth, down the 3, 2, 1, the G, the F sharp, the E. Playing a skip on the C minor pentatonic scale from F to C, then playing down and up the scale. The F and the G are encircling notes to the C sharp in the D major bar. Making a copy of the jump from the beginning of bar 2, changing the jump up a half step, repeating the half step move effect we also have between bar 1 and bar 2. I repeat the movement generally in D major as in the previous bar to get a motive effect. I'm talking about this half bar move. And then I'm talking about this motive. That motive. Motive playing is great. Pentatonics. Down the E minor scale from B to F sharp, encircling the G with the F sharp and the A, and again using an encircling of the E, the D sharp and the F sharp. The E is never played. Directly in the new bar I change to the C minor pentatonic scale, going up from the F, moving from the begin note E in the first bar to the begin note F in the second bar gives a great half-step movement effect. Playing up the C minor pentatonic scale and down again. The last notes of the second bar, the E flat and C, is encircling the C sharp of the D major. Beginning the D major 7th chord in the third inversion, skipping the D, the scale up from the A and on, going all the way up to the high E, skipping down to the C sharp. More pentatonic patterns. If you want more information on pentatonics, there's a lot to get in my pentatonics manuals and my Coltrane pattern manuals. In these manuals, I thoroughly run through exercises and patterns as in how to practice and how to apply this to your playing, the pentatonic patterns. Please check the links in the description in this video. Your support, likes, subscriptions and shares are really appreciated. All links mentioned in this video are available in the description below. Play music and have fun.